everyone, this is Amanda at Amanda's Booktopia. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. And today is the start of a new vlog for the Amazing Readathon and Thrills and Chills. And I did start the Housemaid Secret this morning, and I just recently finished it about, 10 minutes ago? 10, 15 minutes ago? And it was definitely a wild ride, like wild stuff I was not expecting. However, there is a live show coming up on my channel on this book this coming Wednesday, the 26th. And by the time this video goes up, that will have already been done, the live show. So I'll leave the link in the description if you guys want to go watch it and hear all of my thoughts on this book. So I'm not going to dive too much into this, except to say it was absolutely wild. However, it didn't quite measure up to the hype as much as the first one for me. But it was still great, and I really enjoyed it. So all I'm going to leave you with is that I gave it 4 stars. But I am excited to read the third book. For those if you want to participate in reading with us for the read-along, next month in July, we are reading the third book, The Housemaid is Watching. So if you want to join us for that, that would be amazing. I don't have dates for sprints in the live show yet for that, but I will keep everybody updated. So now that I finished this, there has been no prompt drops today for Amazing Readathon except for a detour, which I did do. That gave us some points for Team Fantasy. And since I have nothing else to do for the rest of the day, I just feel like reading a whole bunch more sightseeing and trying to get this TBR down to a pretty good number of books. I've read most of my TBR already, surprisingly. So after my next book, I have 8 books left after this next one I'm about to start. So that's pretty good. I read so much in less than a month. And I've even read books that weren't even on my TBR originally. I don't even know how much that is in total. I'll have to total that up by the end of the month and see how many books I actually read, not including my TBR. So I read a lot. But now I'm going to start another sightseeing book while we're in South Korea. And I'm trying to do as many short ones as possible to get me through to the next prompt drop. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. I have heard mixed reviews on this one, but I know that the author is LGBTQIA+. So even for sightseeing, you still get bonus points for that. So I'm going to find a prompt for sightseeing to fit this one in because I want to try and get through this book. It's not a very long one. Let's see. How many book pages does this actually have? 342 pages. Yeah, I definitely could get that done tonight, I think. And I'm hoping to get it done before the next prompt actually drops. Plus, I need to get another bingo for the Thrills and Chills bingo board. And this is one more step closer to doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right on into this one. And I'll give you guys an update later once I have something. It is now 10 minutes after midnight. Sunday morning, basically. And I just finished Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. And it was a very, very strange book. Not what I was expecting at all. The first half, I was so bored. I was skipping pages to get to the dialogue. And it was just hard to get through in the beginning. The second half definitely picked up. And things happened in the end I was not expecting at all. And it was a very twisted, interesting ending to this one. It was a little bit creepy and a little bit strange and weird, and it's like stuff you would see in a horror movie, basically. And that probably is the reason why I ups my star rating a little bit. I was originally gonna do this like a 1 or 2 star, but that ending, I'm like, dang. So I ended up giving it 3 stars because the last little bit like really upped my enjoyment level of it. So I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Right smack dab in the middle, basically. Then I went to go log it for sightseeing for the Amazing Readathon. However, it did not fit any of the sightseeing prompts. And when I asked somebody, they said, unfortunately, if it doesn't fit any of the prompts, I just can't log it. So unfortunately, I won't be able to log it for the Readathon. But it's another check mark checked off of my Thrills and Chills bingo board. So that's one of those down, which is great. So I'm going to go put that on my bingo board because I am very excited. I'm getting close to I still have some spots left in the bingo board to cover, but it's getting closer to a blackout, hopefully, soon. Depends on how fast I can read the last of my TBR. I think I can do it before the end of the month, so I'm going to try and black out the whole board. So I'm going to stop reading for tonight. I don't think I'm going to pick up anything new now because I have a sneaky suspicion in the morning we might get a prompt drop. Because what I've noticed is that sometimes a day that has a detour for the Amazing Readathon, usually I've noticed the day after a detour is usually when a prompt drops. So I am guessing that's what's going to happen later. I am back, and with very exciting news. It's about 12:45 in the morning on Sunday, and the new city prompt just dropped. I was shocked. I did not see it happening now. I thought I was going to wait till later in the morning. But I am very excited to tell all of you we are now in Bangkok, Thailand. And the prompt is to find a book with 5 colors on the cover. And at first, I was worried I wasn't going to have anything. Then I did find something already on my TBR that works for this. So I am very excited. Plus, it's my team genre, which gives me bonus points on top of that. So I have Filthy Rich Vampire by Geneva Lee. There's white, there's purple, there's red, there's a gold over here, and we have a black right here and here. So that's 5 colors already. And that's perfect. So, and I know this is about vampires because vampires are in the title. And I know absolutely nothing about this book, but I am super excited to dive into it because I've heard pretty good things. And I am psyched to pick this one up. I don't know if I'm going to do it now or if I'm going to wait till later. I haven't decided yet when I'm going to start this, but definitely very soon because I cannot wait to get into this from everything that I've heard about it. So I'm going to get started probably most likely in the morning. Don't think it's going to happen now. But as soon as I get some reading in, I will definitely come back and let you all know what I think of it. Hey everybody, I do have a reading update, but first, I got this package in the mail and I would love to open with you guys. So we're going to do that first, because I'm very excited and to find out what this is. Because I did not order this. I'm guessing it must be a late birthday gift, but we'll find out. I do see some notes, so it must be a birthday gift. It says, Abby is clean. I hope you enjoy the series. Happy birthday, girl, from Nikki. And then she also said, I love Things We Left Behind. I hope you do too. Happy birthday, from Nikki. So I think I know what these books are. Let's start with this one. Ooh, we have The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. She's become a new favorite author. Whenever she puts out a new book, I have to buy it. She's like an auto buy for me now. And I've been wanting to read her backlist. So this is a first in her first series that she's done. And I have been wanting to read this for ages because everything she writes, I absolutely love. So I cannot wait to read this. So thank you so much, Nikki. I cannot wait. And then let's see what the other one is. I think I know what it is from the note. And that was right. Cool. This is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Store. I recently got the second book, Things We Hide from the Light, I believe it's called. That was also a recent birthday gift. So now I have the whole series, which is amazing. I cannot wait to read Nash's story and then Lucian's story, because Lucian is my favorite character in this series. So I cannot wait to get to this one. I am so stoked and so excited. So thank you so much, Nikki. I so appreciate it. I cannot wait to get to these books. You're the best. And that's all I have in that package. Now for a reading update. So I am reading Filthy Rich Vampire by Geneva Lee, currently up to chapter 23, page 175, and I have thoughts. I am liking the story. However, I have some issues with the female main character. She's being portrayed as this very innocent girl, and that she's a virgin, which is a huge part of the story. And I don't understand how she could be this so innocent, but yet when she sees violence with vampires, she doesn't cry or scream or any of that stuff. She just watches it, takes it in, doesn't care. She doesn't make a sound or a peep. How can you be this innocent girl and not run away at the sight of vampires fighting and all this violence? That's the one issue I have with the female main character. Because if you're portraying a girl who's supposedly supposed to be super innocent, and she can't be, it can't be both ways. If you understand what I'm saying, if she's an innocent, a pure innocent, she would run at the sight of blood. She finds a vampire, doing something violent. You would think this girl would be screaming and running away and all this other stuff, but yet she does it. She has no comments whatsoever, except oh, okay, that happened. Cool. And I'm this doesn't make any sense. This girl's a massive contradictions. She either has to be an innocent or she's tough, and tough girls can handle stuff like that. But you can't have it both ways. So this girl's a massive contradictions, and that's the one thing that's been bugging me about this character. However, I really like Julian. He's a main male character, and his family is very interesting. So I'm excited to see what happens with his family. That's the main reason why I'm sticking with this, because he's fascinating. I want to know more about him. I just don't like the female main character. Maybe it's because of the way the author wrote her. Maybe. I just feel like this girl's a massive contradiction. She can't be innocent and tough. She has to be one or the other. If you're gonna be tough, don't portray her as this innocent girl that can't do anything.
Wait.
But if she's innocent...
I have a question, because I can't keep my mouth shut.
Yes.
So, you said she portrays herself as innocent, and that, she's a virgin. How does her how do I word this? They'd still be tough and okay with everything without having to. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something.
It's the way the author is portraying this girl.
Right.
It's not just the fact that she's a virgin. It's also the fact that, she can't seem to... It's the way she has the main male character treating this girl. Maybe that's my issue. It's the way that he's treating her. She's so fragile, she'll break if you touch her, kind of thing.
The main character is being treated that way, as in, the males around her are treating her that way?
I mean, there's a scene with her friends. It's where they're making fun of her basically for being a virgin. And saying how it's about time she finally gets a guy. I don't want to give away any spoilers.
No, but this is important to what you're saying.
I'm just not liking the female main character so much. Maybe. I'm not sure if it's because I'm biased in a certain way, or if it's the main male character doing this to her. I'm still interested in the story to see where it goes. Maybe things will change as I continue, because I still have more to go. I'm not done with it yet. But I think I'm just, I don't know. I mean, it even says in the description, she's too innocent, too kind, and way too human. But now that she knows about his world, she's also a walking target and she needs protection. It says right there in the description.
But
yet she doesn't scream when she sees violence with a vampire. It's not clicking or making sense. However, I am going to continue because I want to know what happens. And then hopefully maybe things with the female main character might change. I'm hoping. Because I want her to be a tough girl. Because badass female characters in most books is what I love.
Oh, you want to see her be strong?
Yeah.
Neat. Not weak.
And just accepting of everything around her and doesn't do anything. And so maybe that's my issue. I don't know. But I'm going to continue regardless and see what happens. Maybe I'm hoping things will change for the female main character. So we will see what happens, and I will give you guys another update once I finish. Hi everyone, it is now 12:30 or so in the morning on Tuesday, and I just recently finished Filthy Rich Vampire, and boy was it a train wreck. It went downhill fast. It started out very promising. I was really hoping it was going to be good. So I did like the beginning. But I didn't realize it was going to be that insta-lovey. And insta-love is not my favorite kind of romance. And then it just got worse. This guy ends up being her sugar daddy. And whenever they go to parties all the time for his family, basically. And she's this innocent virgin, right? Well, he brings her to all these sex parties, and did you forget how innocent she is? And then there's instances where she, even though she's so innocent, she's willing to do pretty much anything he wants just to keep him around, and it completely changes her personality. And then he wants her to go on this trip to Paris with him. So she completely does a 360. She cancels college, leaves her mother behind, who also recently had cancer, and she has outstanding medical bills, just to follow this guy all the way to Paris. And because he promises he'll pay off her mother's medical bills. I mean, hello, sugar daddy much? And there's always scenes of they never go all the way when it comes to sex. It's more like they do things to pleasure her, and then when they're not doing that, they're talking about it. It's I just feel like this is in a way, a really badly written Wattpad novel. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like a teenager wrote this on Wattpad because she has all these fantasies with vampires. And it just felt wrong on so many levels to me. I wanted so badly to DNF it. I would have. However, for the Amazing Readathon, you have to have at least read half of it in order to log it for the readathon. Then I got to the halfway point, and there wasn't really that much left for me to go. Even though I did want to finish it, it's not that long of a book, and I wanted to at least give some pages for my tea. So there's 381 pages. I managed to get through it, and I'm just so glad it's over. It was terrible. I mean, I gave it 2 stars, mostly because I liked the beginning. That's the only reason. it went all over the place. Like, there was no personality in either of them, and it's basically like a sugar daddy story. And I pretty much had enough. There was only one scene that was interesting, and there was a little bit of action. And unfortunately, that was the only scene that I liked. The rest of it, I could take it or leave it. I'm just so, so glad it's finally over. I don't have to worry about this anymore. So yeah, 2 stars. I don't know what I'm going to read right now. I don't know if I'm going to read tonight. It depends, because we had a detour earlier, and usually the day after detours is usually when a new prompt drop happens. So maybe I'll wait to pick up a book and see if there's a prompt drop. And if there is, I'll pick a book then. Hi everyone, I have a new update for you. It is now Tuesday at 5:38 p.m. in the evening, and I started the Inmate this morning, and I just recently finished it for sightseeing. I was able to log it as a book that came out on the month of my birthday. Apparently, this came out June of 2022. I didn't realize that. So I was able to log this book for that prompt and get 400 points for my team, which is great. And it knocks off another spot on my bingo board for Thrills and Chills, and it gave me another bingo, which is great. But you're probably wondering, what are my opinions on this book? So let me tell you. So I started it, and I was really enjoying it, and stuff happens I was completely not expecting. There was twists and turns everywhere. And then when I thought I solved it, I didn't actually solve it. There was more to come. So this was a wild ride of a book. I read a few Freedom McFadden's, and this might be one of my top 3. I really enjoyed it that much. I almost gave this a 4, then after a little bit of thought, I'm like, you know what? I love this enough. I'm going to give it a 5. So this is right up there, along with Never Lie. I think Never Lie took me more by surprise in this one. This is pretty close second. All the twists and turns in this one, I did not see coming. It gripped my attention from start to finish, and I couldn't get enough. So I highly recommend checking out The Inmate. This is definitely an interesting story, because it's all based off of this one guy from a murder that happened like 11 something years ago. And it was crazy. Like, just what I thought I knew, like something like, as soon as I thought I had it right, I was wrong. Like, every twist took me like by surprise, and it was one of those stories that just gripped me, and I basically couldn't get enough, and it was amazing. So it was right up there with with Never Lie, is what I was trying to say. So yes, it was very, very good, and I cannot wait to read more from Frida. So I have more books from her to read, as well as and as well as, what am I trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Forget that. Anyway, I cannot wait to read more from this author. I have not once read a book from her that was less than 4 stars so far. She may be a new favorite author, but I have so much more to go. She has a big backlist, and I have other stuff from her that I want to read. So I cannot wait to read all those and tell you all my thoughts on those ones. However, not there yet. But now that I got this one knocked out of the park, I'm still waiting for the prompt to drop for the Amazing Readathon. Nothing has happened yet today. So as soon as I know anything, I will come back with an update on the city prompt and what book I'm choosing for that. And I will catch you on the upside. Hey guys, so I just received a package in the mail, so I figured I'd open it with y'all. So let's dive right in and find out what this is. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I think it's something that I ordered. Actually, I think this is a pre-order. Yep, this is a pre-order. I remember now. This is Children of Anguish and Anarchy. This is the third book in the Children of Blood and Bone series. And I read the first two like years ago and really enjoyed it. But I don't remember the series anymore. So I need to reread the first two so I could get to this one. But I'm looking at these sprayed edges and they're so nice. I mean, look at that. That's so pretty. And then we got this on the edges here. And then we got like the same thing on top, on bottom. Let's see if it has anything on the actual hardback, because sometimes they do. Okay, so a little bit of red foiling on the hardcover itself. And then on the inside, we have a map as the end pages. It kind of looks like that. Let's see if the other side has that as well. Yeah. Map on the side as well. But I am very excited to have this. So now I can go back and reread the series because this just came out like today. So I am excited to go back and reread and then finish off the series because it's been years since I've read the series and I've forgotten everything. So it helps to have this. So, because I never knew this was ever going to come to a conclusion, the series, when I originally read the series. So now that it has a conclusion, I am sorry to go back into that series. So I'm hoping maybe in July, maybe I'll do like a reading vlog on the series. We will see. So I am very excited to have this to add to my collection. And I will come back with an update once the city prompt draws for the amazing Readathon. So I will be back then. I officially now have an update. It is now Wednesday morning at about 11:41 a.m. and a prompt has dropped officially. And I am very, very excited for this one because we are now in Auckland, New Zealand. And the prompt, get this, is water on the cover, which is fabulous. For those who have been following the Thrills and Chills, their bingo board has a prompt on it that says water on the cover. And Dana already picked a book for me for that prompt. So now I get to read this because I have not read it yet for the month, which is Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. There is a pool on this cover with water in it. So that works perfect. Especially since I was already planning on reading this for the bingo board, which is great. And I haven't read anything from this author yet. This is her most recent, and I'm very excited to try her for the first time. And so I'm going to get started on diving right in. Hey everyone, I don't have a reading update for you. However, I did get a book. This is a pre-order from Barnes & Noble. So why don't we open it and dive right in to find out what it is. Here's your receipt. Comes with the book. And we have here If We Ever Meet Again by Anna Fong. She's the same author who does the Twisted series and the Kings of Sin series. And they were republishing, this is like an older series of hers, but they're redoing it with new covers and sprayed edges. And I absolutely love these pink sprayed edges. They are stunning. And so, and I also have, I don't think I pre-ordered the other ones yet, but I plan on doing so. Because everything I've read from Juan so far has been amazing. And I am loving her books. So I am very excited to try this series. This is just book one of the series, If We Ever Meet Again. I don't really know anything about it, except that it's romance. It says at the top, though, 1 year is all it takes for strangers to become lovers. So we got stranger to lovers going on here, which is cool. I've never read that trope before, I don't think. I might have, and I just don't remember. But I am very excited for this book, and I don't know when I'm going to start it yet. However, I definitely want to. So maybe in July? Possibly? I have so many books, it's not even funny. So I don't know when I'm going to start this, but I would definitely like to start this soon. So I want to get the rest of the series, because when I was in Target earlier, I saw this edition. And I'm like, darn it, I should have just waited got it at Target. It's a little bit cheaper than Barnes and Noble. So maybe I'll wait until like the rest of the series comes out with these covers and the sprayed edges and get them at Target. Because I think they're a little bit cheaper to get it from there than it would be from Barnes and Noble. But I am very excited to have this in my collection, and hopefully I'll be able to get to this sometime soon. And then once I have a reading update, I'll come back. Hi guys, it is now Thursday, about 2:30 in the afternoon, and I forgot to update you guys last night. I finished Darling Girls pretty late. I think around like 2:30 in the morning. I stayed up because this book is addicting. I mean, it's dark in a very twisted kind of way. I guessed maybe one of the twists. It wasn't really like a twist necessarily. I mean, it is a little bit, but it wasn't like I didn't completely guess everything. It was just a tiny bit that I guessed correctly because of one little thing I was able to pick up on. But other than that, this book is addicting. I could not get enough. I was like, from the start, I was like, I was so in for this, and like I got into the middle, things were happening, and I got to the end, things were even happening even more. And the last few pages, I was like, what? That changed the game completely. And like, it was so amazing. Like, I ended up giving this 5 stars because of how twisted this was. I do recommend picking this up. However, if you're triggered by like abuse, I would definitely look up trigger warnings because it's dark when it comes to that. But other than that, I could not get enough. 5 stars. More people need to be reading this book. I have not seen anyone really talk about this. You know, I looked on Goodreads and there are some pretty good reviews. There's maybe only one review that was less than 3 stars. But like everyone was like rating this 3 stars and up. Like it was that good. And I enjoyed every moment. I was like, after finishing this, I need to read another book by her. And guess what? I have another one by her. So I'm going to pick this up for Sightseeing. That's The Soulmate by her as well. And I would really like to tick this off my bingo board for Thrills and Chills. And I have some time to sightsee before the next prompt drop. I don't think the drop is happening until tomorrow is my guess. Because I think Bree would give us at least a couple of days to read because we're almost at the end of the month already. I cannot believe Sunday is the last day of June. I really cannot believe it. Like, I swear time just flies. I can't believe half the year's gone already. That's insane. But I am so excited to finish this readathon strong. I'm going to go ahead and dive into this book, and I'm hoping this will be another 5 star, just like Darling Girls was, because Darling Girls was incredible, and I need to read more of her. So I'm very excited to start my journey into Sally Hepworth and read more of her backlist. So I'm about to go get started on this one because I am excited. Hi everyone, it is now Friday, about 12:25 p.m. and I've only been up like an hour or something like that. I slept in today. However, I did finish The Soulmate last night. I stayed up a little while, so I wanted to finish it, even though I wasn't crazy about it. I just want to get it done and see like if it was going to be as good as everyone says it is. And unfortunately, this did not live up to the hype for me. This is very sad. I was really hoping it was going to be great. Like, there was going to be like this big ending because everyone says how great this is and how this is like her best book. But I don't see how. Honestly, I think Darling Girls is her best book that I've read from her so far. Unfortunately, this didn't live up to it for me. It's just sad. There was only one part that I liked, which was Amanda's point of view. Reading a point of view from someone who's dead is very interesting. However, the rest of this was just a mess, like a mess express. It was all over the place. I hated the main characters. None of it made sense. Their decision making was awful. And their reasoning is just so off base. Their motivations, like, none of it made sense. Until we got, one thing did make a little bit of sense at the end, but everything else just kind of fell apart. And the ending was just so anticlimactic for me. I wanted it to be something huge, something I wasn't going to see coming. And unfortunately for me, that didn't happen. It fell flat. And I was so disappointed. So this was 2 stars for me because the only thing I liked was Amanda's point of view. Everything else just did not measure up, which is so sad. So we're going to move on to hopefully a better book. So next, we don't have a new prompt drop for the Amazing Readathon yet. My guess is that she usually waits until evening time or like at night to drop prompts, I've noticed. So I think since I'm pretty sure I have the whole day, and I do have one plan to go grab Starbucks for this buy one get one free between the hours of 12 and 6. So we're probably gonna go do that. But also, I do want something to read in case the prompt drop doesn't happen till late. So just in case, as a backup or sightseeing, I decided I'm gonna try Home is Where the Bodies Are. And this is supposed to be a buddy read with me, Dana, and maybe Nikki. I don't know if Nikki really wanted to join us because Nikki read another book by this author and wasn't crazy about it. So I don't know if she's going to try this or not. But Dana and I definitely wanted to read this together. So my plan is to start it today. I cannot believe this readathon is almost over. Sunday is the last day of June and the last day of the readathon for both Amazing Readathon and Thrills and Chills Bingo Award. And I'm so close to getting to that blackout. After this, I only have 3 books left in my TBR. And Dana and Nikki are doing sprints all weekend. So I'm going to take them up on those sprints for sure and try and get some reading done. I know they're doing some sprints today. Probably won't be able to join in fully while I'm out. But once I get back, I most definitely will be. Because I am looking forward to getting some more reading in, for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get started on this one. And once I have another update, I will be back. Hey guys, I am back, not with a reading update, but I have some bookish mail. I got this and this to open with you guys. So we're going to do that real quick. This is not exactly a book, but it's bookish mail. So I'm excited to show you guys this. Let me dive right on it. I'm very excited for these. Dive right on it. So this is exciting. But let me show you what these are. Yeah, that's all of it. So I found this new bookish shop on Instagram called Acrylopix. They do special editions of books, but they also had bookmarks called Acrylopix Bookish Nook. That's kind of what it says on here. And they have like their different, on the back, all their social medias. And then I went onto their website and I found these bookmarks. Let me see if I can open the plastic from this. So these are bookmarks that I ordered of from A Court of Thorns and Roses. They had like these bookish bookmarks of like the different characters. So we had We have this one. And then we've got this one. And then we've got this. And these. And the last one is this one. And this one's my favorite because I love this one at the bottom the most. And I just think they're so cute. I thought they were going to be like see-through when I ordered them, but they're not see-through. Like, oh wait, they are see-through. My bad. They just have the white on the background. My bad. So they are see-through. Well, this is what it looks like when you don't have it up against the white, I guess. The white was just the paper. So if you put it, like, you can see the eyes better if you have the paper behind it. But when you take it away, it's see-through, which I think is so cool. I love these things. I'll take the pink ones off them all. But I am in love with these bookmarks. They are so cool. And they're from the Court of Thorns and Roses series. So I would definitely suggest checking out their website. It's Acrylopix Bookish Nook, I believe it's called. And they are on Instagram. So that's how I found them originally. Because sometimes they do like special editions of books that they put on their Instagram. But they're really, really cool. So let me take the paper off the back of these bookmarks. Then we'll get to the last package. Alright, so those are all the bookmarks that I've gotten. Well, let's move on to the next. If it wants to open. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. What is this? How did this get fit in my book? So weird. Somehow this got put in my book, and I have no clue why. Well, off of Amazon, I got Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. However, as of the book of the month in the corner, so it must have been one of like the last few to come out through a third party. But sometimes at Amazon, when you order stuff on there, they come from a third party. No idea why. But I ended up getting this one because it was, was it a recommendation? I think we were talking about this on a live show. It was me and Clint. We were talking about books with water and houses on a cliff on the cover or something like that. And this one came up. So I decided to go ahead and buy it. And apparently it just came through one of those third-party things on Amazon because we got Book of the Month edition. But I'm okay with that. And I don't know anything about this, except it's supposed to be like an isolated thriller. So I'm very excited to give this one a shot. Don't know when I'll get to it, but I do want... Clint and I were thinking of doing some kind of project based off of, houses on a cliff and water and stuff. So maybe you'll see that coming up in a project at some point. But I am excited to check this one out because I've heard mixed reviews on this one mostly. But I want to give it a shot and see what I think. So at some point, I'll definitely be checking this out. And that's all I've got for you guys for right now. Once I have a reading update, I will be back. Hey guys, so I do have an update for you. It is now 8:00 in the evening on Friday, and the last prompt of the Amazing Readathon has dropped. We were going back to the US. We are in Los Angeles, California, and the prompt is to pick a book that you would want to see adapted. It's like a TV show or a movie. And this was really hard for me to figure out on what to do until I got some clarification from Brie. And she did clarify that it could just, like, the plot could sound interesting enough that it could be a movie, but it doesn't have to necessarily be one that you have to finish the book to decide if you want to use it as a potential adaptation. Because I was worried I would not be able to find a book because I thought you would have to finish the book to decide if that would even work for the prompt. When Brie clarified that it could just be something from the synopsis that sounded like it could be a good movie, I decided to go with my current read. So remember how I mentioned I was reading Home is Where the Bodies Are earlier? Well, I decided this synopsis sounds like it could be good for a movie because it's dual timeline and it sounds a lot to me like it seems very similar a little bit, not in plot ways, but like in some other ways. It reminded me of the Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. And I absolutely loved that movie. And so I thought maybe since it has similar elements to that, this could make a good movie because I loved the Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. So I'm going to go with this one and see, for me, if it, I mean, technically it qualifies because it sounds like it could be a good movie. However, I don't know if I'm going to love it. That's the one thing I'm not sure about yet. However, I still have more to go. I'm only on chapter 17, and I am liking it so far. It's very interesting concept, finding out something happened when you watch old tapes from the 90s and basically trying to find out if what actually happened. So I'm excited to see how this one goes. I know my friend Sam said she gave it 2 stars, which worries me a little bit. But I also found out in the Discord for the Amazing Readathon, somebody else told me that she loved this book. So I don't know where I'm going to place in the ratings yet, but I am liking it and I'm interested to see where it goes and if where I'm going to lie on the rating scale. But once I have more to talk about, I'll be back and we will see if I end up liking this book. So I'll catch up with you guys later. Hey guys, so I have an update for Home is Where the Bodies Are. I finished this on sprints with Dana and Nikki and Alita about an hour and a half ago. It is now almost 1 a.m. But I wanted to talk about this. I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting where it was going. I thought, the person who did it all was somebody else entirely. And I did not see that twist coming at all. I knew it had to be somebody close to home, but it wasn't the person I thought it was going to be, which was interesting. And I honestly thought I was going to go in a different direction, but it was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed it. So this was a definite 4 stars. And since I already finished this, and this was what I was going to use for the last prompt of the Amazing Readathon, I've already logged it. However, I have all weekend to sightsee. So that's my plan for the rest of the weekend and the readathon is to just read whatever I feel like and log it for whatever sightseeing prompts I could get. So now that I'm done with this one, I decided I wanted to pick up my favorite author, Mind Games by Nora Roberts. Dana picked this one for me for the romantic suspense prompt for the Thrills and Chills bingo board. And Nora Roberts normally writes romantic suspense, so this fits perfect for that prompt. And I don't know what sightseeing prompt it could fall under for the Amazing Readathon, but I will find something because this has a lot of pages in it. Let me see exactly how many. So I don't know for sure. 421 pages. If I didn't use Moments Where the Bodies Are for the last leg of the readathon, I probably could have used this one. Because the prompt, technically, is basically a book you would think would turn into a good adaptation. And Nora Roberts, some of her books have become movies. So this could have easily fit that prompt if I wanted to. But I was already in the middle of that other one at the time when the prompt dropped, so that's why I used that one. But this one has more pages, so I didn't think about it at the time. I just decided to go with what I was reading. But at least I could I can't log pages for sightseeing. However, I can still get points for either teen genre or an LGBTQ plus author. However, this author has a husband, so that would not qualify. And my team is fantasy, not romantic suspense or thrillers in any way. So unfortunately, it won't qualify for any of those bonus points, but I'm sure I could find something to log this under. So I'm going to start. I don't know when I'm going to start this, but I am starting it. I don't know if I'm going to start it now or if I'm going to wait till later. I haven't decided yet. But once I have some reading done, or at least get through this in any way, shape, or form, even halfway, I will come back and let you know what I'm thinking so far. So I will see you all then. Hi, everyone. This is now Sunday at like almost 2 in the afternoon. And I do want to share that I did finally get some reading done yesterday and really late last night. I stayed up far too late last night. So I didn't get up till I was up once this morning, went back to sleep. Then I didn't get up again till 1 something. So I really slept in. But let's talk about the books. So I did read some more of Mind Games by Nora Roberts. And I'm now about to start chapter 18, which is page 243. And this feels like a typical Nora read so far, but I really like this special ability as she put into this main character. Well, both main characters, the girl and the villain, they both have this mind speak ability where they could, well, not exactly mind speak, but they have this ability to connect to other people or touch things of theirs and be able to see what she can help solve, the main girl can help solve cases. She could touch something and she'll know where the victim is and how to help her escape. And she basically knows how to her grandmother knows how to do this too, but her case is a little bit different from her grandmother's because she could do a lot more than her grandmother can. But she could save people and try and help people get to safety. And she could see beyond a one person view, so to speak. She could pull herself away as a third person and kind of view the situation that the victim is in. And she could pick out details and things like that. And so the villain of the story can do the same thing almost. And so they keep connecting throughout the story and being able to talk to each other in their heads and their dreams. And that twist is really fascinating. So I'm really liking where that's going. And this is basically told from the standpoint of when this girl starts to be 12 years old, and it starts out when she was 12, and then she grows up throughout the book and we see more of it. And I'm really interested in how that's going. I don't know where this is going to go necessarily because I don't want to make this spoilers, but I don't know where this can possibly go from here. But I am interested to see what happens. So I'm going to continue this today. Today's the last day of the readathon for both Amazing Readathon and Camp Nightmare at Lake Throws and Chills. And I'm sad that today's the last day because I had so much fun with it and I don't want it to end. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, which is sad. But you win some, you lose some. I don't know if my team's going to win, but I'm hoping for Amazing Readathon. We will see what happens. Oh, looks like my camera's going to die. Uh-oh, let's hurry this up. Well, I went to Target yesterday, and I wanted to share this book that I got. It's Ashes in the Star Curse Kane by Carissa Broadbent. I read the first one, really, really enjoyed it. This edition is hardcover, and the hardcover itself is absolutely stunning because we got that on the front and this on the back, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. And I can't wait to read it and see what the sequel's going to be like. I still want to get the novella, but until then, I don't know when I'm going to get the novella because it's going to take time for them to redo the sequel. not necessarily redo. I mean, it was published once, but they're like making a new published date, so to speak, to, I guess they're revamping covers. They're doing a lot of that lately. But I'm excited for that. And I'm gonna end this update here, and I'll give you another update before the night is over because my battery's about to die and I need to go charge it. So I will see you all later tonight. Hey guys, so I have a new update. I just recently finished Mind Games by Nora Roberts, and I was surprised by where this ended up going. I did not, like, there was no actual twist per se. Nora Roberts doesn't normally write, like, big twists. But sometimes the way she writes books, you never know where something's going to go. So you never know if it was really going to happen until it gets to the end. But there's no, like, major twist that she does. But overall, I definitely enjoyed it, and I liked the ending and how it all came to an end. It was not what I thought was going to happen. But in a way, I'm kind of glad it ended the way that it did, because I didn't know where else, like, how else this was going to end. I don't want to give away spoilers or anything, so I'm going to try and not to give away anything for those that do want to read this. But it was definitely a satisfying ending, so I'm glad it ended the way that she wrote it. I think the way she ended it probably made the most sense to me from the story. So I'm glad I got this done. I was able to get 2 bingos out of this for the Thrills with Chills bingo board, and I logged it for sightseeing for the Amazing Readathon for 300 points for a third-person point of view. And now I'm going to start a new book. Don't know if I'm going to get it all done before the readathons are over, but I'm going to try it. It's less pages. That's If We Were Villains by ML Rio. The Nora Roberts book had like 421 pages, and this only has 354 pages. So this might not take me as long as the Nora Roberts one did. So I'm going to attempt to start this in just a minute. And I would love to see if I could get this done before it's time, before the readathons are all over. Because I can't believe this is the last day of June. It's just so hard to believe. Time just flies, I swear. But before I go back to reading, I got a package and I want to share it with you guys. So let me work on it. And there's the book, obviously. So here we have A History of Fear by Luc Dumas. I have been wanting to read this for a long time. It's been on my Amazon wishlist for like forever. And it was finally on sale. This used to be so expensive, but I found it so cheap. It was like less than $10. Finally. It took so long for this book to get down to that price. I think it came from like a third party because of the way it looked like it was listed. But I'm okay with that. It's in pretty good condition. So, no complaints there. And I know this is a horror book, or it's kind of similar to the third Conjuring movie, but with the tagline, "The devil made me do it." And I've been wanting to check this out for a while because it sounds fascinating. So from my understanding, there's this murderer named Grayson Hale. He's better known as Devil's Advocate. And then he's found hanged in his prison cell. And then there's a handwritten manuscript that they find that's haunted the nation for years. Was Hale a lunatic, or had he been telling the truth all along? Because he's been saying how the devil made him do it. So we don't know if it's paranormal or if it was really him. And it just sounded right up my alley because I love the Conjuring movies, and it sounds so similar to the third movie. So I am so excited to give this one a shot and see what my thoughts are going to be on this one. Don't know if I'm going to say this for October. I might. I have some really good creepy books that I could save for a vlog for that. So I might consider that. But that's all I have for right now. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go and try to some reading of If We Were Villains. And once I have an update, I will catch up with you later. It is now 12, almost 12:40 in the morning on July 1st. So this vlog is about to come to an end. But I did finish If We Were Villains about an hour ago, 20 minutes before the readathon was technically over. So if I finished it in the nick of time, and I was able to log this for sightseeing for 400 points, which I am very, very happy about. And there was only one other book that I wanted to get to. I did not fit in to this month, but it's okay. I'm thinking I might just move it into July, and I'm gonna do more vlogs in July, so maybe you'll see it pop up in one of those vlogs. But let me give you all my thoughts on If We Were Villains. It was a very interesting premise and dark academia with Shakespeare, and it was interesting. I didn't love it and I didn't hate it. I guess for me this was what you would say it was a book and I read it. Unfortunately, I guessed the twist way early in the book, and it just didn't live up to the hype for me. I mean, it was okay. So I thought that the premise was rather interesting, and I just didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It felt very meh for me. Because I guessed the twist pretty early, which is a little bit disappointing. So I guess is what you call it, what some people call like a very low 3. I don't know what that means, but I've heard people say that. So, I mean, I guess it was what you would say, just a middle of the road. So, we are done with the readathons. Log this for Amazing Readathon. I even used this to black out my bingo board for throws and chills, and made it a double bingo. And that is it for all the readathons. It's kind of sad how this came to an end. I wish there was more. Unfortunately, there's no more days left in June, because we are now in July. But it was fun while it lasted. And I hope you all loved this vlog as much as I did. If you did, give me a huge thumbs up. If you want to stay tuned for more bookish content from me and more vlogs in the future, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below. And I'll see you on the next one.